you know, like the more I read up on the presidential election, and the more I read up on Kamala's husband, the second gentleman of the United States, Douglas Emhoff. I was calling his name Hoffman, but his name is Emhoff. I was saying it wrong, but the more I read up on it, I truly believe that Trump's not running against Kamala Harris. I don't believe that. I believe, because this man right now is the first, I believe that he's running against Douglas Emhoff. That is really second gentleman to the United States. He's the first Jewish person to ever be second gentleman to a vice president, and and if elected, he would be the first Jewish person to ever be first gentleman to the president. It's first. He pioneering this. But my thing is, I don't think Trump running against Kamala Harris. She a front man. I think the whole ticket, I think the whole play is him. Because they're over in Israel calling him like a rock star. I was reading the Jewish paper. I'm like, well, why do they say he's a star? What did he do? He's done a lot. The last 3 years since he's been second gentleman, meaning being married to the vice president Kamala Harris, you know, he has an agenda. It's just like if Biden's wife, Jill Biden, she is first lady. She has an agenda. She goes around the world as a spokesperson. He was going around and he was putting out fires for anti-Semitism. He's putting fires out all around the country, going to having meetings, going to, you know, crossing London and Israel, going. That's what he's. But the last 30 years, he was a lone entertainer. He was in Hollywood, and he is the man that they would go to him. You know, he's the man. 30 years in, out in Hollywood. And so I'm reading, they calling him a star. They say that he's a star. He's like a rock star, they call him, because the importance that he is to Israel, meaning because he's in the White House. You know, he has an office in the White House because he's Kamala Harris' husband. And the more I read about it, I'm telling you, I think it's a game. I think really it's him. He's sitting in the cut. But it's him that's going to be running the country. See, they couldn't put him on the ticket because he's Jewish. America wasn't going to go for that. They wasn't going to go for him running as, you know, for president. They'd have came down hard on it. But, you know, him being Jewish, he hired behind the scenes. But you pull the strings. And so I truly believe, the more I read and I see this man and how powerful he is and the way they speak of him in Israel, I mean, it's like that silent hand I was talking about. He is. I think he is. And I think the bigger picture is him in the shadows. Hiding behind Kamala is the face of it. But if she become president, he gonna be running this country. He gonna be running. It's a bigger picture. It's slick. It's just, you know, and it makes sense to me because it just does. I mean, it makes sense. And you know, they always advisors, and I hate to say they, but there's always Jewish advisors to and counselors to statesmen, kings, queens, presidents. And he's sitting in the cut in there in the White House. And he's married to her. If they make her president, he's going to be running this. He's going to be running the country. And when I look at the stakes that are on the table, you know, in terms of the global economy and what needs to be done, it makes even further sense to me, because they said that he's a very powerful lawyer. He knows how to sit and put things together and listen and put things together. He's well known for it. He's a very powerful man for knowing how to put out fires and knowing how to deal with things. He's well known in Hollywood. And he gave up that career to come and be in the White House with Kamala when she won the vice president ticket. But I truly believe, I think in the shadows of this election, what we can't see, what's out of our eyesight, is some slick stuff going on. I think that it's him. That's who Trump running against. That's the dark hand, the hand behind, the hand that we can't see. It's him. That's what I believe. I really do. I think so. The more I read about it, because if you take the time and get on your computer or your internet and go just start reading on it, it'll come to you. You'll be like, this right here is a little bigger story. It's this, he all around the country, like they know about him. Over in Israel, they know about him, and he moving all around. And I think the bigger picture is Trump is running against Douglas Emhoff. And the other thing, he's Scottish. He has Scottish blood. He's like the Scottish rights. So when I seen that, I said, now he's Jewish, but then he got Scottish rights. That's Freemasons, Knights Templars, French Huguenots. The French Huguenots out. Those were the Jews. Then they went to Spain. They kicked them out of Spain. They was the Knights Templars in Spain. And then they went in the Moors. They all got kicked out. And they came to America. That's that bloodline. The Scottish Rites is the highest, form a group of masonry. And as soon as I seen that Scottish, I'm like, oh man, this man, that's masonry. That's Masons. Those are Masons. The Scottish Rite. And I said, man, this man right here, you gotta read up on him, man. You gotta, this, it's deep. It's just too much for me. I'm like, wait a minute, you in with Israel, you Jewish, you in with Israel, and he's been he really is sitting in that White House as an Israeli ambassador, as far as I'm concerned, an ambassador to Israel. That's why they calling him a star, because of what he's doing in there and the push that he's doing. And then when you see he's Scottish, he got Scottish blood. I'm like, wait a minute, man, wait a minute. No, I know about the Scottish Rites and the Masons. Man, that's a dirty game being played right there, man. I mean, that's heavy. That's real heavy for me. And because that man wearing a lot of hats, man. And I have to do it like this, man. I really do. I have to say, man, Trump not running against Kamala Harris. Trump is running against Douglas Emhoff. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I believe. I mean, I just been doing reading it, and the more I read it, because it just go back and up too far with. I mean, this is just too deep. I'm thinking in terms of powerful people, in terms of bloodlines. Tied into crescents. You got to know about that stuff. And I think that's really the play. That's what's going on. That's what we can't see. She's a front man. And so, because they couldn't put him having all the affiliation with Israel, a Jewish man with, Israel, really an Israeli is what it is to me, and then having Scottish, right, Mason, they couldn't put him on no ticket. So he's behind the scenes. Put her up front, let her win, and he'll take it from there. That's what I believe. So thanks for listening once again. The deep part, it's a deep rabbit hole today. That's the bigger picture. That's what's over our head that we can't see. So take the time and go read up on him. Read all the articles you can read, and pull up some Jewish press articles, and you'll see what I mean. You'll be like, well, why is they talking about him in such glamour when he's over here? You have to put it all together. Once again, thanks for listening, and have a great day. Have a great Saturday.